Hey dudes and girls, here in the gym, and we got a single exercise tutorial, and today is going to be the push press. Now, don't be confused on the overhead press, because a lot of times you'll see people trying to do the overhead press, and they end up starting to do the push press, you know. They get that weight on there, it's a little too heavy for them, they start pushing with their legs and their hips. So the overhead press, to get you some backstory on that, is going to be the legs locked out, you know, really rigid upper body and lower body, and you'll be pushing purely with the shoulders, and then back down to the bottom position. But with the push press, you're actually involving the lower legs. So if you do want some help with the heavier weight, you're gonna be incorporating the push press. So with this one, you wanna get that feet stance, the stance just about hip width here, and you're gonna start in the locked out position in the legs. And what you gotta think is dip, drive, press. So you're dipping down to begin with, just like so. You can be driving with the lower body. So you're a little bit in the legs and the hips here, drive up, and as you're doing that, you're gonna press straight up. And then as you bring it down, you can give a little cushion with the heavier weight. So this is a great exercise to kind of force more weight on the shoulders. So let's say you're just about to hit that 135 in the overhead press, but you're not quite getting there. You're like, you know, the form, I'm leaning back a little too much. I'm starting to break form on the overhead press. That's when you start introducing the push press, where you're actually forcing the shoulders to lift a little bit more than they can. And a good tip to remember too is that once you get in that top position here with the legs locked out, really try to focus on the eccentric contraction down and then catch it as your shoulders start to give out. So a great tool to have is focus on the eccentric contraction, because that in the long run will build a lot of strength. So then once you start practicing the push press with heavier weight with the eccentric contraction, all of a sudden you'll come back to the overhead press maybe a week or two later, depending on your program, and all of a sudden you're hitting that overhead press strict form with 135. So we're gonna put some weight on this and kind of show you how it's done here. So now that we got some weight on here, we're going some 135 poundage going on. We're just gonna go over form once again, just to keep in good mind is that you want your stance about hip width. You can go slightly wider if you need to, but your toes are gonna be pointed straight forward, and you're gonna grab the bar where your forearms are gonna be vertical to the floor here. If you go a little too wide, you can be pressing out. If you go a little too narrow, you can be pressing inward. So you really want that straight push, straight up, just like the overhead press here. You're gonna slightly bob your head out of the way. As you bring it all the way up, and get that full extension, you're gonna slightly elevate the traps to get nice activation and also support in the shoulder joint, stabilization in there. And then again, we're gonna concentrate on the eccentric contraction. So I'm gonna bring it down really slow, all the way down the bottom until my shoulders start giving out, and then I'm gonna drop it and get a little cushion in the legs too. So here we go. Step down, just like so. About hip width in the stance here. Good, you're gonna start at just the clavicle, right below the chin. You're gonna dip, drive, and press. So here we go, dip, drive, and press. Straight up, and then we're gonna go nice and slow on the way down. Try to hold that weight until kind of give out, give a little cushion here. So dip, drive, press. There we go, nice and slow, and then down. There we go. So this is an excellent tool to have in your arsenal to really try to push past your personal record on the overhead press, build a lot of strength in those shoulders with the help in the legs. So next time you step in the gym, you want to push some heavy weight in the shoulders, well, try the push press and see how that goes. So hopefully you enjoyed that. We're going to go over many more tutorials, and you're going to find them all in the bulking book here. So this is going to be our program we're going through. And it's going to be a big bulk. We're going to be lifting a lot of heavy weights. Buff Dude's bulking book. So look for more tutorials soon. And as always, stay buff. Oh yeah.